I found out I was gluten free in April of this year. I used to play college basketball, so I was in really, really good shape. And I started noticing that like my whole body was just super inflamed and I wasn't comfortable. And workouts were really, really hard. And I just kind of figured maybe it's something in my diet because everything else in my life was pretty good. It's really hard to find foods because a lot of the food that I like is bread and it's pasta and just I mean like chips. Like some of the chips I love I can't eat anymore and just the desserts and everything and cooking for myself is really hard because going to the grocery store it's like you got to find the food that complements the meals you want to make and then if you can't you just kind of have to start over. Not only I have to find recipes that are gluten free, I have to find alternative foods that are gluten free, and then at the end of the day, they end up being like $4 more for something that I used to eat all the time. Eating is not as enjoyable, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's like you almost know that your food is not going to be as good as it used to be, so it deters you from wanting to cook it and eat it and everything. You still want to go out and be with your friends, but you may not be able to eat anything at the restaurant, or they may not even serve you because they see you as like an obstacle rather than a customer. So it's like you have to just kind of bob and weave through the social setting. So I've recently discovered like tortillas that are gluten free, but they aren't corn tortillas. And I love quesadillas and tacos and all that kind of stuff. So I'll make that. And then a lot of like crock pot meals are gluten free. So last week I made this Mexican street corn chicken. That's probably my new favorite for sure. I wish, I wish people were more aware of how difficult it is, but I also kind of wish it wasn't such a big deal. Like going into a social setting, I don't want to have to tell people, like, yeah, I'm gluten free, like I do this or whatever. I wish it was more of just kind of like they don't ask you about it and like don't badger you about it. Like, oh, why do you do this? How hard is it? That must suck. Like, I wish it was just kind of like a thing and no one really worried, like, not worried about it, but cared too much to make it your whole personality, kind of. Check on your gluten free friends because they struggle.